Hey folks, CAT 2025 Slot 1, Number Theory, Modern Math and Geometry questions. Let's see what we have in store for the day. So the question reads, a cafeteria offers 5 types of sandwiches. Moreover, for each type of sandwich, a customer can choose one of 4 breads and opt for either small or large sized sandwich. Optionally, the customer may also add up to 2 out of 6 available sauces. The number of different ways in which an order can be placed for a sandwich. So 5 types of sandwiches. So, and then they say large or small sized. So the wording has been a little off-putting here. So they can offer you 5 different breads, like a Subway thing, and then you get 4 different options, 5 different toppings, large or small, and 2 out of 6 sauces available. So that way it gets a lot easier. So you get 5 different types, out of which you can pick any one. So that would be 5C1. And then along with that, you can choose one among the 4 types of breads that they offer you and 4C1. And then you have either small or large. Based on the size, you have 2 options, out of which you can choose one, 2C1. And then finally choose up to 2 out of 6 sauces. So there are 6. You can choose 2, 1, or you can opt out of sauces, which none of us would recommend. But then for the question, 6C2 or 6C1 or 6C0. So solve for this. 5 into 4 into 2 into this will be 6C2 is 6 into 5 into 15 plus 6 plus 1. 15 plus 6 plus 1 is 22. This is 20 into 2 is 40. 40 into 4 into 22 is 88. So it will be 880. And that will be our answer. One question, despite the fact number theory is challenging, these are questions that will easily give you those 3 marks in a very short span. And a 3-digit number n, the digits are non-zero and distinct such that none of the digits is a perfect square. No digit is a perfect square, and none of them are non-zero and distinct. None of them are perfect squares. So you're thinking about 2, 3, 4 cannot come, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only these numbers are possible. 0 is not possible. 1, 4, 9 is not possible. Did I miss out on anything else? 2, 3, 4 not possible. 5, 6, 7, 8. 0 is not possible. 0, 1, 4, 9 not possible. So 6 digits, yes. And the other condition says, and only one of the digits is a prime number. So they are splitting this into prime and composite now. I will say composite because you don't have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, out of which you can pick only one. So 6 and 8, you need to pick both of them. Because it's a 3-digit number, only one of them is prime, which means remaining have to be composite. Both 6 and 8 will automatically come into place. And the question is the number of factors of the minimum possible value of n. For minimum possible value, I'll pick the minimum possible digits here. 6 and 8 are already fixed. The only option that I can take is 2. Bring it here. So n, the minimum possible value of n is 268. N is 268. Happy about it. But the question says number of factors for the minimum value. So 268. I can write it as goes well in 4. In 4 that will be 40, 60. 60 times 240. And then there's another 28, 67. 4 into 67, which is 2 square into 67. 67 is prime. So that is 2 plus 1 into 1 plus 1. 3 into 2, 6 factors. And that will be our answer. Again, number theory, modern math, we call it to be slightly challenging topics. But there are scenarios where we get nice, simple, beautiful questions that will easily give you those 3 marks in the back. The set of consecutive odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, till 57. There is a number k such that the sum of all elements less than k is equal to sum of all the elements greater than k. Then k equals what? Next question, we're looking at 1, 3, 5, 7. Somewhere here is k. And then 53, 55, 57, 59. So like this. The sum of this range is equal to sum of this range. Numbers less than k, numbers greater than k, take the sums, they are equal. Now, sum of all odd numbers, n natural odd numbers, is simply n square, where n is number of odd numbers that you have taken. The last odd number is 59. So 2n minus 1 is 59. So 2n is equal to, sorry, 57, my bad. It goes till 57. 57. So 2n is equal to 58, or n is equal to 29. So the number of numbers that we have over here is 29 odd numbers exist. So sum of them here, sum of this has to be a perfect square. Why? Again, from 1 to some number of odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7 up to k, one odd number less than k, that will also be sum of n odd numbers. So this is a perfect square. So this should also be a perfect square. We have figured that part out. Now what is the sum of all 29 odd numbers? Sum of 29 odd numbers will be 29 square. 29 square will be 729, 841. 841 it is. Right? Which means this should be half of that, slightly lesser than half of it. This should be the other half because k is not counted on both occasions. So half of that is what is 841? Half of 841 will be 420 and odd. So the square immediately lesser than 420 will be 400. 400 is 20 square. So if this is 20 square, this should also be 20 square. So this is 400. This is 400. 400 plus 400 is 800. So k has to be 41. 400 plus 400 plus 41 is 841, works for us. So k equals to 41, and that's our answer. Nice. The intuition part, the comfort with numbers will plug in here, and you'll be able to solve it, provided if you quickly look at it and then get it through. In a circle with center C and radius 6 root 2, PQ and SR are two parallel chords separated by one of the diameters. Okay. If PQC is 45 degree and the ratio of the perpendicular distance between PQ and SR from C is 3:2, then the area in centimeter square of the quadrilateral PQRS. So PQRS, parallel sides, it's a trapezium. We'll go for it. So let's see, there's a circle here with a center C. There's one parallel chord over here, the other parallel chord here. That will be the radius. So I'm going to call this C. Let's call this PQ. And then we'll call this RS. Right? PQC is 45 degree. PQC is 45 degree. Now we know that when you draw a perpendicular from the center to the chord, it will be 90 degrees. Right? I want to use that. This needs to be 90 degree. If this is 90, this is 45, this is 45. The radius is given as 6 root 2. Now we know that in a 45, 45, 90, 45, 45, 90, the sides will be in the ratio 1:1 root 2. Here it is 6 root 2. So this will be 6 and 6 conveniently. So if I call this T, This will be 6. CT will be 6. TQ will also be 6. Got that in back. So if TQ is 6, TP will also be 6. Now I know that PQ is equal to 12. We'll reserve this. We'll come to this later. Now, if I look at the other side from here, this is also a right triangle, right? I'll mark this to be 90°, but we don't know the angles here yet. But there's one other data that is intriguing here, which is the ratio of perpendicular distance of PQ and SR from C. From C, you draw perpendicular to PQ. From C, you draw perpendicular to SR. That is in the ratio of 3:2. So it is telling me that CT is to C, let's call this U. CU is 3:2. CT is 6. We know that. CU has to be 4. Now this is 4. We know this. Now this is going to be 6√2 again because it is the radius. CS is the radius now. We need to find what US is equal to. You can apply Pythagorean theorem here. 4 square plus x square is equal to 6√2 the whole square. So you will get x square is equal to 36 into 2 is 72 minus 16. Right. So you will get x square is equal to 56, or x is equal to 4 into 14. So this will become 2√14. So this US will be 2√14. So from here I can say RS is going to be 4√14. How? This is half. These two are equal. Similarly, these two are equal in length. So 2√14 is 4√14. Now area of PQRS. Now PQRS is a trapezium. What is the area of a trapezium? That will be half of sum of sides into height. What is the height here? The perpendicular distance between the parallel sides. 6 here, 4 here, that's 10. So that will be half into 12 plus 4√14 into 10. So cancel this. This will be 5. Can take out 4 out here. So if you take out 4, this is 5 over here. That's 20 into 3 plus √14. Do we have that in the options? 20 into 3 plus √14. Answer option C. Slightly lengthy. So the comfort of circles, chords, the perpendicular from center to chord, bisects. You have to understand quickly. It has to come naturally to you. 1:1:√2 for 45, 45, 90. If you can get all of this in the top of your head while looking at this question, another question easily gives you those 3 marks. The XY coordinates of vertices P, Q and R of a parallelogram PQRS are -3, -2, 1, -5 and 9, 1 respectively. If the diagonal SQ intersects the x-axis at a, 0, then the value of A is. A nice question. So PQRS. Let me draw much better diagram here. This one's much better. PQRS. I'm going to call this better to myself. P is -3, -2. Q is 1, -5. R is 9, 1. And there is a line, the diagonal SQ cuts the x-axis at a, 0. They are asking what A is. The most convenient way would be obviously find the coordinate of S, find that equation between SQ, find the line equation, substitute a, 0 in that, you will get the value of A. That's how you do it. And then I'm going to go a little unconventional here, something that is quite simple. What I want to do is, I'm going to find the midpoint of PR. I'm going to figure out what the midpoint of PR is. Why? The midpoint of PR is as same as the midpoint of SQ. So if I have the midpoint here, this midpoint of SQ and A comma 0 and Q, all three of them will be collinear. And that's a better way to look around this. So midpoint of PR is equal to midpoint of SQ. That will be the average of the coordinates of x and y minus 3 plus 9 by 2, comma minus 2 plus 1 by 2. So that will be 6 by 2 is 3. 1 minus 2 is minus 1 by 2. We know that now 3 comma minus 1 by 2, A comma 0, 5 comma 1 comma minus 5, 1 comma minus 5. All three of them are collinear. You can use that. How does that help? The slope of any 2 points will be slope of the other 2 points. You can say slope of these two is equal to slope of these two, or slope of these two. Pick any two combinations and then equate them. So I'm going to do these two, y2 minus y1 minus 5 plus 1 by 2, x2 minus x1 1 minus 3 is equal to y2 minus y1 minus 5 minus 0 is minus 5, x2 minus x1 is 1 minus 8. So this is minus 4.5, this is minus 2. So I'm going to write 4.5 by 2 is equal to 5 by a minus 1. Multiplying it by minus 1, changing the signs. Let's solve for a. This will give me 4.5a minus 4.5 is equal to 10, or 4.5a is equal to 14.5, or I can say 9 by 2a is equal to 29 by 2. Cancel out the 2. A is equal to 29 by 9. Do we have that in the options? Yes, we do. There isn't one way to solve this question. You can think about it in multiple ways. But this one struck my head, and this is one easy way to do it as well. The length of a side of a rhombus is 36 centimeter, and the area of the rhombus is 396 centimeter square. Then the absolute value of the difference between the lengths of the diagonals of the rhombus is, so it's a rhombus, which means the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors. I'm going to call this A, so this will also become A. I'm going to call this B, this will become B. So the side is 36 centimeter square. Now this is a right triangle. Based out of that, I can say A square plus B square is equal to 36 square, or A square plus B square is equal to 1296. What else do we know? We know that area of a rhombus is product of the diagonals by 2. So product of the diagonals will be 2a into 2b divided by 2 is equal to 396. Cancel it out. 2ab is equal to 396. I have a square plus b square, and then I have 2ab. So I can write this as, they are asking for the difference. A minus b the whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. A minus b the whole square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. So a square plus b square is 36 square, which is 1296. 2ab value is 396. So a minus b the whole square is equal to 900. A minus b is equal to plus or minus 300, but 30. Here it is plus 30 because it's the difference of the sides here. Absolute difference is 30. I have a minus b is 30, but I don't want a minus b. I want 2a minus 2b. Just 2 times of a minus b. That will be 60. Why 2 times of a minus b? The length of the diagonals are 2a and 2b. So the difference will be twice the difference of a and b. So the answer is 60. Nice question. Know your basic formulas for areas, volume and everything. This gets through. This question is for any natural number k, let a suffix k is equal to 3 power k. The smallest natural number m for which a1 power 1 into a2 power 2 into a3 power 3 dot 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 a20 power 20 is less than a21, a22, a23 product here. Nice. So ak is equal to 3 power k. So I say a1 will be 3 power 1, a2 will be 3 power 2, a3 will be 3 power 3. It says a1 power 1, so that will be 3 power 1 is 3, or 3 power 1 power 1 into 3 square the whole square into 3 cube the whole cube, 3 power 20 the whole power 20 is less than 3 power 21 into 3 power 22 into 3 power 23 up to 3 power 20 plus m. That's what we are supposed to figure out. Looked difficult, but then look for the base powers here. 3 power 1 into 3 power 4 into 3 power 9 up to 3 power 400. This is nothing but, look at the powers here. They are perfect squares. This will be less than or equal to, write this will become 3 power 21 plus 22 plus 23 up to 20 plus m. The base is same, powers will be added. This you can write this as 3 power 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus up to 400 up to 20 square. So sum of n natural squares will be n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6. So in that case this will be 20 into 21 into 41 divided by 6 is less than, this is an AP. The first term is 21, the last term is 20 plus m, which means there are m terms in that. So sum of m terms here will be first term plus last term, 21 plus 20 plus m by 2 into m terms exist. Let's simplify this. This will be 10, 3. This will be 7. Now this is 70 into 41. 7 into 40 is 280. This will be 2870 into 2 from here, bringing this 2 here. This will be 41 plus m into m. This is less. So I'm going to rewrite this, multiply this here. 5740 is less than m into 41 plus m. Basically, you do a quadratic here, take this to the other side and look for the roots. Fortunately, we have been given options. Plug m value as 1 1 each and then go for it. The first value that I would probably plug is 59. Why am I picking 59? I look at 41. I look at 59. 41 plus 59 is simply 100. So if m is equal to 59, this will become 100 into 59, which is 5900, is greater than 5740. Works. Yes. M equal to 59 works. The question is not what value works. The question is smallest value of m. So if 59 works, you have to ensure that some other value also works. I'm going to look for 58 then. I'm going to put m equal to 58. M equals to 58. So this will become, this equation will become 5740 less than 99 into 58. What is 99 into 58? 41 plus 58 is 99 into 58. 1900 into 58 is 5800. So that's a 58 less. This value will be 5742. 5740. Still works. M equal to 58 works. If I put m equal to 59, I get 5900. If I put m equal to 58, I go to 5742. I know that if I put m equal to 57, it won't even work because 57 into 100 itself is 5700 only. So 57 into 98 will not go there. So I'll stop here and then conveniently say the smallest m value will be 58, and that should be our answer. Slightly intuitive again. Remember your formulas, plug them in, and then based on intuition, you go for it, and then we are done.